A landscape photographer ventures deep into Great Smoky Mountains National Park, chasing light, fog, and solitude with his 8x10 film camera. But each morning, through the trees, a figure appears. Tall, dark, motionless. At first, he thinks it's another hiker. Then, the figure grins, and what began as a photo trip becomes something else entirely. A creepy encounter with something that doesn't want to be captured, only remembered. This is Odd National Park, where the natural meets the supernatural. Let us know you want to hear more strange stories like this. Follow Odd National Park and visit the support page on our website so we can keep exploring the weird side of the wild. Thank you. Tonight's story comes from Caleb, a landscape photographer who traveled solo into the backcountry with his 8x10 large format camera, hoping to capture the beauty of fall lighting cutting through the mist. He wasn't looking for anything unusual, just fog, contrast, solitude. But in a place like Great Smoky Mountains National Park, the line between what you're photographing and what might be watching you can get blurry. The Smokies are known for their fog. It drifts through the trees like breath, softening edges, muffling sound, erasing distance. Hikers talk about getting turned around, not by terrain, but by the disorientation that comes when the world vanishes 20 feet in every direction. What Caleb saw wasn't a bear or a trick of light. It wasn't even moving at first. It just stood there, tall, silent, staring. And then it smiled. Here's Caleb's story. Hey James, I'm a photographer. I shoot 8x10 large format film, just one image at a time, using gear that takes up half my pack. There's no burst mode, no quick review. Every shot requires intention. I wait for the right moment, take the picture, and find out much later if I got it after developing the film. A few years ago, I planned a solo trip to the Great Smoky Mountains. There's a ridge west of Clingman's Dome I'd been wanting to revisit. Dense forest, unpredictable fog, and the kind of morning light that inspires you to earn it. It's off trail and hard to reach. That's why I go. I camped below the ridge and hiked up early each morning, gear on my back, chasing the first rays of light breaking through the mist. On the first morning as I was setting up a shot, I noticed a figure. Just a silhouette, tall, unmoving, at the far end of a clearing, barely visible in the fog. I assumed it was another hiker, maybe another photographer like me. But the next morning, he was there again. Same posture, same spot. That's when the feeling started. A quiet, crawling kind of unease. A gut-level signal that something wasn't right. Back at camp, I couldn't stop thinking about it. It had been close enough to recognize as a person, but I couldn't make out any features. Just tall and thin, with what looked like an old-fashioned hat. Something out of a 19th century photo. I barely slept that night. I couldn't shake the sense that it had been watching me, waiting. For what? I didn't want to know. The next morning I hiked up to the ridge, exhausted and anxious. I didn't want to see it again, but I did. Farther off this time, but unmistakable. And this time, it was grinning. A wide, unnatural grin, like a shape carved into a mask, cold, measured. A chill ran down my spine. My camera was already pointed in its direction. I decided to try and capture it. With this kind of gear, taking a photo isn't quick. You compose the image, focus, take a light reading, set your exposure, load the film holder, pull the dark slide, and then you take the shot. I had everything ready, but when I pulled the dark slide and released the shutter, I realized I didn't insert the film holder into the camera correctly. I knew the sheet was ruined. In a panic, I flipped the holder to the unexposed side and tried again. Too late. The figure was gone. I stood there, fog around my knees, hands shaking with frustration. I spent the rest of the morning taking other shots, but I couldn't focus. My mind kept returning to that grin. Later, I hiked down to the area where I'd seen it, trying to convince myself there was a logical explanation. Maybe a tree, a trick of light. But in the crook of a sapling, I found something that made my blood run cold. A crude stick figure, tall and thin, made from twigs lashed together with a strand of long dark hair. No footprints, no campsite, nothing. Just the figure, leaning slightly, like it had been left there for me. I didn't touch it. I packed up camp and hiked out that afternoon. Back home, I couldn't stop thinking about the figure, or the thing I found in the woods. I tried to distract myself by developing the film in my dark room. Just like shooting in the field, developing film is a process. Most of it spent alone, in the dark. One of the sheets I processed was the one from the day I tried to photograph the figure, the ruined one. As expected, it had a massive light leak, but the landscape was still visible. Out of curiosity, I made a contact print. As the image began to develop in the tray, I felt my stomach drop as I watched the image appear under the safe light. The light leak wasn't just random. It was shaped like a grin. Long, curved, stretching across the frame like it had been burned in. I didn't put it in the stop bath. Didn't fix it. I pulled it from the tray and trashed it along with the negative. The other photos from the trip were beautiful, but that one image, that one, I had to erase. Thanks for giving folks like me a place to share this kind of thing. Most people I know would just laugh it off. I hope your show keeps growing. We need more places where outdoor experiences like this don't get dismissed, just listened to. The fog has a way of hiding things, but sometimes it reveals just enough to make you wonder what's still out there, watching, waiting, choosing its moment. Caleb didn't capture the figure, not in the way he hoped or expected. But something made it into the frame anyway, and maybe the grin wasn't meant to scare him. Maybe it was a message, or a warning. He went to the Smokies chasing the light, but something in the fog found him first. Caleb, be sure to let us know if it finds you again. If you've seen something strange in the wild, something you can't quite explain, we want to hear about it. Head over to oddnationalpark.com and use the Share Your Story form to send it our way. And help us keep telling these stories by visiting the support page on our website. Every bit helps us keep the campfire burning. Thanks for tuning in. I'm James, and this has been Odd National Park.